Hi everyone, it's RAXX. We just got an update to Season 26. We have a brand new public test realm. They made all their changes in red. You know the drill. Let's go through it. And then I'm actually in the public test realm right now. I'm going to show you some of the changes. Okay? So let's talk about Echoing Nightmares. They made rare monsters spawn. Now meteors fall from the sky. Now they're going to throw streams of exploding lunatics. Rift Guardians spawn. More monsters are going to spawn. The Shadow Clone area of effect is way better. They now give a better exit timer. You can get higher ranks of the augment gems. You can't freeze, stun, or root or knock back any of the monsters. And now conduit shrines work properly. Essentially what they did here is they made the event way more chaotic, way more challenging, and way more fun. I'm going to show it to you in a second, but just trust me, it's way, way better. Huge props to the team. They took a lot of feedback from the community, and this game mode is actually fun now. So let's go to the Greater Rift updates. So they buffed, it's okay if you don't know this stuff, you can just trust me on this one. Blazing Guardians and Comedy Comp and the Vile Temptresses and the Hell Witches were some of the worst mob types in the game. A lot of the people who don't blast the game all the time wouldn't know that, but they did buff some of the worst mobs here. So the first thing they say is they buffed them even further, and that was needed. They buffed them one time, it wasn't enough. I tried them again today, and they're actually way better. So now all of these mob types that used to be terrible are actually pretty darn good now. So I think you'll notice it when you're playing that you just get way fewer bad mob types where you might be scratching your head and saying, why am I getting no progress here? Am I playing bad? No, you probably just had a bad mob type, and now they have fixed that. They also fixed another one of the worst mob types, the Shamans and the Fallen. These guys were worth nothing. That's another mob type that they fixed. And I tested it, and it is much better. And now you're actually going to know when you're in a Dream Rift. I have a video that I posted, I think about a week ago, showing you a Dream Rift. Now you will definitely know when you're in run. It has this very cool blue glowy thing, dream-like thing, which has all the best maps and mobs. It's a very rare chance. I had to plug like 150 keys to find one. But you do have a very rare chance to open the Dream Rift next season to get your new personal best. They also made some changes to the Barbarian. Now Weapon Throw is a part of the build, and now Weapon Throw can increase your Fury beyond by another 200. This gives you some additional damage. And you Weapon Throw very quickly. So this gives us more damage, and this helps with the boss fight. So that solves two of the critical issues that Raycore did have. There is one looming problem with this build. It's very fun, and it's going to be pretty darn strong, but it has zero survivability. None. So we need to see if Blizzard is planning to add any survivability to the build. And if they don't, then the guide that I'm going to make and what we're going to have to recommend on Maxroll is you're going to have to build your guy as tanky as possible because you get plowed on this build. Let's see if they add some survivability. But the rest of the build, the fun factor, the damage factor, everything else is looking pretty good. And then one of the absolute best things that you'll ever read is they fixed Mystic Allies. Every Mystic Ally spawned by the 6-piece has their duration refreshed with each attack, and the Fire Allies now have passability. What does that mean? That means, you know, when you're playing Water Ally, how your guys come out of wave form and randomly, and you don't understand why, and they don't do any damage? That's not going to happen anymore. They're going to stay in wave form as long as you keep pressing Mystic Ally. You ever played Fire Ally last season? Did you ever press your Fire Ally and they didn't do any damage? You don't know why? It's because they have a monster targeted and they can't get to that monster, and so they don't know what to do, so they choose to do nothing. Now they have passability. They can walk through monsters. They're going to pick their target, they're going to walk right up to it, and they're going to blow up. Thank God, right? So all you monk players out there that played Ina Ally last season, we finally have that. So I'm going to demonstrate it right now. I got my water allies going, and I'm on the PTR. Let's try the new Echoing Nightmare, and let me show you what it looks like and what you can look forward to next season. So you get, these are a very rare drop in Greater Rifts. From a Guardian, you can get a Petrified Scream, you throw it into the cube, boom, Echoing Nightmare, here we go. Not the best map here. And by the way, I did leave some feedback for them. And one thing that I expect to be changed is you currently have to make a tremendous effort to run all the way, see all the explosions coming already. You're going to notice that this is a lot harder. This is much more of a challenge now, which makes it way more fun. One thing you're going to notice here is I might lose because I get overwhelmed because I don't have the monsters aggroed. And that is not the best feeling in the world. So one thing that I have asked them to take a look at, and other people I'm sure will give the same feedback, is we need all the monsters to in some way be aggroed to us. Because currently you do have to move around and piss everything off. If you leave everything in the corner and they don't come for you and you don't attack them, you lose because you get quote unquote overwhelmed. So that might happen to me here. But hopefully this is fixed when we actually have the season live. We got 4 pylons here. Another thing that I have suggested to them, some of you may hate me for this, but I already passed the feedback along, and I literally put in my feedback that some people would hate me for this. I suggested that they take out the shield pylon. And the reason why is the shield pylon trivializes the end game of this event. So the goal is to reach 150. If you reach wave 150, we're in wave 68 right now on the right side of your screen. Now we're on 69, everybody's favorite number. If you reach 150, you get the maximum rewards, essentially. And they have added kind of a soft enrage beyond that, where there are so many monsters and bosses and elites that spawn at a certain point that you just get completely crushed. And the shield pylon lets you just essentially skip 130 to 150 because you can't take any damage. So I think it would be better for the event itself if we replace the shield pylon, or if we at least, see what I'm talking about here? See how I almost got overwhelmed there? And it's because there were a bunch of monsters hiding in that corner. That's a very stupid way to fail. So I hope that they change that. But if not removing the shield pylon, maybe they could make Flavor of Time not work, as we have Orlash spawn in the middle of our rift. So this is going pretty well so far. We're at tier 95 right now. But notice how there are fallen lunatics everywhere. There's molten explosions. I believe at tier 100 is when the meteors start spawning. And I gave them additional feedback to make the meteors stronger. Because right now you can stand and get hit by the meteors. They're kind of just there for decoration. I don't think they should be there for decoration. I think they should kick your ass if you get hit by one. If not completely one-shot you, see those green meteors? You better dodge them. So now it's starting to get a bit challenging. So maybe what should we go for? Let's start with a power, I guess. Starting to get overwhelmed. If that bar gets to the right, we lose. Let's start with a power. Got to dodge all the molten explosions. Got to kill all the elites. And look, we just killed a boss. Do you see that big area? And boom, it blows everything up. So that's another thing that they fixed. Look, I just got hit by 10 meteors, and I'm still alive. We're going to lose here. Let's take the Condi. Condi actually works now. Another thing that someone suggested, which is a very cute idea, is they should give you increased rewards if you don't use the pylons. Now, this is a very suboptimal monk. I just threw this together in 2 seconds, so don't be afraid or anything. But this will be probably a godly build for this game mode, especially if you tried. But I just threw this together in 2 seconds. Sometimes it's fun to see what can you do with kind of a subpar build anyway, a subpar setup. Doing all right so far. Still alive. Haven't died. If you die, the thing is over. And if you die on hardcore, you do lose your character. I actually had one where I spawned Perdition. Now, I don't know how well you guys know the Rift Guardians, but Perdition has a teleport attack that essentially one-shots you instantly, and that's exactly what he did. Perdition, we're going to fail here. Perdition teleported and one-shotted me. So I think maybe with some of this chaos, Blizzard should consider not killing hardcore characters. Instead of not killing you, you should just get 0 rewards. You don't get any chests, you don't get any XP. You completely fail the event. You completely fail the event if you die in hardcore. So that would allow them to continue making it as crazy as possible while not making you lose your hardcore guy to some crazy events. Anyway, let's see what we got. We got 4 Paragon levels for it, and 4 Paragon levels from here is actually pretty darn good XP. And to look at the rewards here for a second, we got about 1,000 blood shards, about 10 legendaries. This kind of looks like, so the XP is very good, but this looks like the rewards you would get kind of at the end of a Greater Rift. So there is feedback for them to buff them. The XP is good. The number of blood shards can go way up even beyond that. So you get a lot of blood shards. But, and we got our augment gem at 121. So that's amazing. But I think the items that drop could be a lot better. Like, for example, maybe they could all drop Ancient, because remember, a Petrified Scream is a very rare thing to find. So if they gave you 10 Ancients, maybe an increased chance for a Primal, that would be good. It would be great if they gave you some bounty materials. It would be great if they gave you some Greater Rift keys. So I think the rewards are something they're going to be looking at. But at least we get a ton of XP, and at least we got a very nice augment gem. Anyway, just wanted to showcase to you guys that Blizzard has made some nice changes to this event. If I had it my way, I'd make it even more difficult. That way, reaching 150 is truly something spectacular for you to achieve. And I hope the rewards are amazing once you actually get there. Season 26 is looking very good. I have a ton of videos coming out for you guys. In fact, I have so many of them that I wouldn't even be able to rattle them off. But I have 10 very cool videos or so coming out in the next week or two about Diablo that I think you're going to enjoy. So let me get to work on those. That's all for today. I hope you guys are having a great time, and check out the Season 26 PTR. It's looking pretty good.